Okay, well, I'm going to start protesting because it's very unfair that Joker and India have used my name for almost 7 years. Basically, every time I'm creating something, you create these groups, and for the next 30 years, I don't have the rights to drive. Basically, John's kicking me out of my own harvest of what I worked for. And you're all jealous of me having my friends, but they're my friends. This is my life. I don't understand why Charlotte just gets to kick me out and I'm outcast of society. You deny me to have refuge. I don't want to be in a mirror. I've not been an asshole. I'm not dark energy. I'm not lower class. Last year I was working overtime to do all this creative cooking work and all this creative work and all this fundraising to help kids and do mercy ships. And I want my rights to everything that I worked for. And I also want my rights to my love life, because you're kind of making out all these men are going on that I'm an asshole and I'm trash. But I can't get back on my feet. That's the ignorance, is that I can't get back on my feet because I went through violence and nobody gave me the money to get back on my feet. But you're paying money to ignore me and not give me my dream life, which makes me feel like I'm dying, and I want to know why he wants me to have my life as an ugly life. Why do you want me to be ugly and Charlotte to be pretty? Like, why everything about my world, ever since this nightmare's happened, they've decided to make this massive world where I'm not allowed to be part of the communities because I'm going to be a dog for the rest of my life. And I'm saying there's so much work. A year ago, I'm constantly in exile for years and years. He doesn't want me to go to work, and it's, you're better off dead, because he's basically killing me. He won't let me have a future. He won't let me be beautiful. He won't let me see anyone. He won't let me talk to anyone. And this is the thing. My life is about my children. I love my children in my life. Like, I love all my cousins. Like, I love Darren so much, and I love Karen. I love seeing when Karen's happy, because she's a lot like me. She's got a real sensitive side, and when she lights up, you know she's really happy. And I love seeing her light up, because it's not like, she's quite an intelligent person, so she's not walking around with a big smiley face all day. So when she's happy, it's such a nice thing to see. And I really miss my aunties. Like, you've taken away the beautiful, loving connections in my life. Like, my family had such a quiet, loving, sensitive thing that we had, and it's like Charlotte's invaded my family, Charlotte and Gianna, and you're keeping me like a dark witch, and I've not been a dark witch. I'm just a woman that's oxidized skin from the chemicals. What happens when you have chemicals is it oxidizes and ages your cells, and they're making me have to keep buying supplements to heal myself. Right now, I'm just saying it's not very fair, because I'm a holistic healer that's had all these toxins, and Joker's built a massive empire out of all of my skills. He's building holistic healing and healthcare. This is my work. And I'm asking, why don't I get the credit and the equality that I worked for? I'm asking for it because I'm the one. He's watched me in my home in Australia and Kiki on the Silk Road, and that's my healing work. I know a lot about different whole foods as well. I know that broccoli helps kill cancer cells, so does walnuts, so does garlic, aged garlic. It's kyolic garlic. So does the sulfurine in those little like sprouty things. They make all the cancer cells die as well. The other thing that's really good is just oxygen. Going out and breathing in all the natural air, it actually makes all your cells regenerate. And so does having time to fast, because it's when you start to have autophagy, it starts to kill off dead cells, all your disease cells, and they start dying out and coming out of your body. The thing that scares me in my situation is, since they've disemboweled me, I may fast for 3 days and I'm still fat. I mean, I'm kind of okay. Like, I think I'm going to be okay if I start running again and stuff, but my stomach, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. But I think all my tissues can heal. I think I can get that healed again. But I'm just saying, I do know a lot about healing, like T cells, if you up your T cells, which you can do that from running, or you can take it from supplements, these killer T cells start fighting all your bad cells, all your disease cells. So if you're going through anything bad, like if you're going through cancer, it's good to hit all of your immunity, and that's what the T cells do. They come and they start attacking anything diseased, anything dark, like that's hanging around all the debris, and that also helps you start fighting disease. Also keeping your body alkaline. So that's what I used to do at my home. I used to take juices every day, and carrot juice, beta carotene, is really good to beat cancer, and that you find that in spirulina too. And carrots, I think there's something really good about carrot skins, but you got to get organic carrots, because they pick up all the pesticides when they're growing things like in these big farms nowadays. The other thing is what's that stuff? Yeah, so the other thing that they've kind of stolen is my artwork. I just started all this artwork and started an Etsy business, and they stopped that. They're stopping all of my growth, and that's what I want to know, why this trafficker is holding my life. I'm going to have to start protesting about Brendan, because it's my life. He's actually built my whole reputation, his reputation and his skills on my life. I don't mind, it's fine. I can understand if you've got better opportunities because you know people and all this kind of stuff. I can accept that in society. What I can't accept is somebody that's literally going out of their way to block my education, to block my efforts. It's the hypocrisy of you paying all these people to call me a leech in society, and to pay billions of dollars to keep this cancel culture up. But you also don't tell people how much you're sabotaging me. I work and I work and I work, and you take the profit from it, and I'm left here labouring with nothing. I did all this labour, and you've told the world that I'm a bludger, but I'm not. And I also, when it comes to counselling, I've done a lot of intuitive healing and a lot of cognitive healing, cognitive therapy, Gestalt, and the other one is dialectical behavior therapy. It's like managing your feelings. Do I want to give a representation on counselling? Not really, but I have done crisis counselling, and I enjoyed that too. They're really different. So with crisis counselling, it's more about getting to the heart of the matter in a very, very precise, warm-hearted way, to try and make your person talk and reflect back to you quickly what's going on with them, so you can manage their problem in a very, very, just say in a timely manner, because they may be suicidal and you need to understand quickly what their issues are. And you've got to be very, very sharp and on the ball, because it's kind of like directing it's like kind of like sheep herding. While their mind is all shattered and scary and like in crisis, you've got to kind of round up all their thoughts and kind of get them focused into a kind of a linear way of thinking. i.e., why are you calling today? I want to kill myself. I'm not happy because I'm being beaten up every day, and I think there's more to life than being bashed and being treated like I'm worthless. Yeah, I can understand that. How suicidal are you on a level from 10 to 0? Oh, I'm probably like a 8. Okay, could you just hold the line? I'll be back in 2 seconds. And that's where you go off and you start ringing up St. John's Ambulance, and you're like, hello, I really need your help right now. I've got a client here, I'm really worried. And then you go back and find out all the information, and then that's all sorted. But if it's just something very simple like a 6, then you can kind of talk them through their issues very easily. But when it comes to actual normal counselling, there's a big situation where you start to get to know that person. You've got to build up trust with that person, and then find out their identity, find out sort of a little bit about their background and what they're wanting to achieve in their sessions. It doesn't have to be like real dark and heavy. It could be just so I've got weight problems and I don't know why I'm emotionally eating every day. It can be very lighthearted, or it can be very deep. This is where these levels of, 1 to 10, to find out how heavy their trauma is or how big the problem is. So they may come in and be like, oh, I'm actually just like, I can't cope anymore. I got raped as a kid, and it comes in my head every day, and I can't, it's like I'm having these flashbacks. And so that's a pretty big deal. So you would put that up at about a 7.5, because it's still not happening today. She's still functioning, but it's quite a heavy thing that's coming up. So, and that's what you would start to work on, their problems, and start to get to know them, start to trust them, and build this relationship. It's a little bit, you get more time to deal with them and get more deep into it. And then if you get into psychotherapy, it's even more interesting, because it's kind of like, an iceberg. It's like they have the top thing of what you can see at the top, and then what you can see at the bottom. And basically all your subconscious is submerged under the lake, and that's where you're allowed, that's where you've got all these like underlying thoughts that you don't know what's under there. And you may have these belief systems that are really sabotaging you day in, day out, and that's what psychotherapy is about. And it can be very tough, grueling, kind of aggressive counselling thing. The other thing is I'm being very heavily discriminated about my dream job, about it being a photographer, and the themes about nature is my God. I want to defend, that's my journey. I went out and I was out every day running and being out. I talked to the animals, I talked to birds, I talked to the pets like the dogs and the cats all the time. I'm really sensitive about everything about human life, and I really enjoy life, and I think life is about movement. And I know that's why something's wrong with me, because I haven't moved for 3 years. I'm a mover. I'm somebody that needs things to happen, and I need to talk to people, and I haven't had that. But that's why I'm saying, like, the guys are actually, these young kids are downloading my photography style of the sun and the photography of the sky, and that nature is my God, and that this is a very deep healing place to start grounding your energy and to let go of all your negative ions. And the photography is something that was like making me passionate every day, and they still don't want to let me have the credit for that. That's what I don't understand. It's like I've got Mary really abusing my face every day and torturing me, and it's like, yeah, but Mary didn't need a bottle of acid over her face to have the land and take over and being queen. And so these girls got to be queen, but really they just got a bunch of gangsters to do a lot of anal sex and abuse me to get their way, and put a lot of silver torturing me, and they're keeping me trafficked underground in a warehouse that I'm a dog every day. And I'm asking for help, because they've actually bought a supply chain through my phone of all the organisations that I would go to get help. As a counsellor, do you understand I've got to find aid for people? In this time, my mum and all these girls in these superficial groups are being very nasty to me, and I want to I'm completely the opposite of what they say. They say I'm drama. No, I'm not. I'm sitting here reflecting on how to cope with the most wisdom in a situation, and also soothing myself through trauma and trying to not put my problems on other people. I'm taking a mature route. No, I'm not immature. I'm very mature, but in a time of crisis when people are beating me, I'm scared and I want my family. It makes me very traumatized. And they're keeping me as a dog, and I want my freedom. I'm a human. That was a crime what they did to me, and the government's just taking everything from me, and I want to know why I'm being kept on the street. And this pizza company, he's really just taking hold of all of my credit cards and all of my independence, and that means a lot to me as a woman that's got I've got a bit of a disability, but it's manageable. It's really manageable. I've worked through a lot of my life and I want to be free. It matters a lot to me. I want to be happy in life. And he's kind of making me under these walls that I'm negative and I'm toxic and I'm a hater and I'm cruel and I'm not. What you've seen is a reaction out of abuse, and what you're seeing is a lot of corruption of him paying shadow hands that I don't know. He's showing these toilet videos and showing images of me in trash to give me a false sense of reality. So he's really been deceiving everybody, and I want to say I'm not like that. Like, he goes to absolutely all the neighbours, every community I go to, and I'm not like that. I was an educated woman, as in I just had a very simple life. I like to keep my life simple. I like my rooms quite clean and simple, but it's very hard at the moment for me because I don't have a vacuum cleaner. And they're just withholding it from me. They've been withholding it in both these apartments, that they're not giving me the vacuum cleaner. But I am I'm not simple-minded, I'm really sophisticated-minded. Like, I'm really, really brilliantly brainy. I should be a herbal doctor, and I'm not allowed to. They gave it to Poppy, and I want to know why I'm not allowed to do the jobs I'm supposed to do. It's my job. I did all this groundwork in it, and they've taken it all. Like, those boys took everything that I was working on, all my healing herb remedies. I did so much work on it. They've basically given Leanne and Poppy everything that I've worked for. And I just want to know, why would you want to take a single woman's beauty away? Why would you want to take a single woman who had to like suffer as with nothing, and you're taking away all the dreams that I'm innovative. So you're basically, at the end of the day, you're just going to keep me like my body ugly, and you're going to keep taking away the artwork that I worked for in my life that I'm really good at, and make sure that I'm always in the trash. But I just think it's not a fair situation. If you let me have equal opportunity, I could make a very good brand too. But they keep torturing me and holding me in these rules that I'm very ugly, and I think it's such an injustice, because I was just at my mum's house making a very innovative, like, creative business, and they took credit for it, and my landlord and Poppy have all this nepotism and just gave it to those three women, and then they stopped me doing UNHCR and said it's only for them. But how many Nigerians cross the border in UNHCR? I sat with many women from Jordan that were escaping conflict, very, very dark women, and all these Greek women. I don't think it's fair. They're being very racist about looks in this situation, and they're kind of saying you can only be a good mum if you look like Nadia. You can only be good at art and have a sophisticated lifestyle if you look like Nadia. And I think that's a really, really warpy way to have a perception out of life, because life should be about diversity. There should be, if you're really good at something, like, look at that Bill Gates. Is it Bill? Not Bill Gates. Stephen Hawking? That guy in that wheelchair. Isn't he like really amazing at stuff, like on his computer? I don't know what he's good at. He's good at something. He's really amazing at some sort of memory, something to do with his memory. And he's like this disabled guy. And same as all these other amazing people in the world. You think about what they've created out of their life, and they've been really amazing people. Like, and they're just ordinary people. Like, so that's what I don't want. I don't mind carry on going and being creative, but this guy's oppressing me. He's paying every time I'm good at something. So I was good at all this healing herb remedies, so he opened a business about healing herbs and kicked me out. I just did an art business, so they're doing massive murals over the world and making sure they're better than me. He won't let me be seen. Then I did all this photography about the sun, so they're making their whole image about sunshine and their photography about the sun, and that's my images that I work for. That's the hypocrisy. I'm saying, even Sia, that really, really brilliant songwriter, other people take her songs, and she's like, people go back and they're like, oh, it's you. Like, because she's got these deep emotional feelings and deep ties and loving emotions and deep, bold feelings to do with amazing, like, ways to demonstrate, like, surviving things. So she actually, that song she wrote
really got me. I still cry when I think about it. Oh, is it alive? She's got this song called Alive, and I went through all this trauma because they ruined my face, and I woke up and I was so traumatized from my face ruin, and I realized that it was my ex's ex-girlfriends. They had all got together and ruined my face. They gave me all these chemicals and all this arsenic and ruined my face, and they got, I think she got into some cult and they were all going together. She's going to be ugly forever. They were chanting around me, and I woke up and my face was disfigured, and later on it was a grueling time to get healed. And when I started listening to Sia, I was like, wow, she's actually really, like, this song's amazing. And I used to listen to it to motivate me to go cleaning, because I didn't want to go back to cleaning because I was doing aged care and I was really happy in Auckland, and they stopped that job for me. And I really love sitting and nurturing other people. Not nurturing, just I like listening to people's life stories and what's going on, what they've done. Like, it makes me, I just feel very interested of what they've done in their life and what they think, and I like all types of people. So yeah, I just used to get upset because I had to be a cleaner, not, I had to go back to cleaning after my face got disfigured, not to do aged care. And I was like, really listening to the song to motivate me, and it's amazing. Have you listened to it? Alive. That's how I felt after I survived the violence, and I was like, fine, I'm going to take this in a positive way. And then I went to all these counsellors, and I was like, right, I'm going to be positive. He said it doesn't matter if you're ugly, as long as you can go back to work and you can earn your money. And so now they've chained up all my money.
Doing all this stuff to kick me out of my own home. He's got all my credit cards linked up. He's stopping me having an inheritance that I deserve. I'm the one that, I'm the original. I'm the original of the beauty. God is my nature. That's mine. I do believe in Jesus, but do you know what? I don't really want to even give up my belief in shamanism and my belief in New Age spirituality. So out of respect to Christianity, I'm not going to say I'm a Christian, because, like, I believe in Jesus and I believe in some of the ways of Christianity, but it's too strict for me. The way that I've gone through violence, where they allow witches to be like the mantles of the holy church, but they're so against me, just shows the hypocrisy in the organisation. I've done a lot of different really innovative works, and they're kind of keeping me looking dull from silver poisoning and low cost by this unfair, unequal treatment by drowning me in a river of the Indians making me low quality, and drowned me next to that woman that I was with, and put her in a bikini and made up she was a healing herbalist, and you're all against me. But I've done it for more than 15 years. It's just that I've had abuse with I don't know if it's the government or the mob. They keep poisoning me, and they're putting lead poisoning. They put lead poisoning in my stomach. And I want to know, even when I've got all the evidence, I'm still being denied justice. And it's like, I just survived that, and then they're making me survive again, and then they tortured me with all this genital mutilation and rape, and they're all together saying, whatever, you're a liar. Your character's a liar. And it's like, but before the war, all of my references say I'm such a lovely, beautiful, caring woman. I'm such a sharing, generous person. It was only through this media music stuff I got blown up as some sort of joke, and then my personality got disintegrated into this massive warpy thing, and then he's basically tortured me underground sexually with all these people in dog shit, and humiliated me on all these comedy clubs for almost 7 years. And it's like, I'm just a girl that wants to go to work. So I'm asking, can you either help me make a decision and help other people say, can you protest against these associations and let her be part of financial freedom? Because why should I not be allowed to move forward? I'm actively proactive about my work. Even all last year I was. It's only this year, after they injected me, I got sick. If I can't be part of your association, can you help me protest to die? There's no way forward. It's like everything that I produce, this Joker and these Mariahs keep taking it off me. She's even taking my daily habits, my daily planning, going to the gym, the things that I started last year. They keep pouring heaps of money. I can't win against an association like that. These Carters, like every time I start something, they pour loads of money and I don't get to do it. Like I was doing my healthy healing. It's a very sensitive ritual for me, and they just blew me out with all these toxic male influences in Hollywood and kicked me out of my home and basically made all these superstars of motivation. And I don't know what to do. What I'm saying is they're watching me taking credit for things I'm doing, and they've got all the manpower and pushing me out, and I'm getting constantly displaced house to house, and it's putting my energy out, and I don't know how to get back up anymore. Because even at Narita's house, I was eating healthy. I was having Shilajit shots. Like, this is kind of like a detoxification. It's kind of like charcoal, but it's this kind of this, I think it's called fulvic acid. It's kind of like it's just all these minerals, like kind of like mold in a way. Moss. I think it's mossy, moldy dirt, and you take it, all the minerals come in and leach out of your body. And also I started TESOL, and everybody wrote that I was like such a great teacher, and I love kids and I'm not allowed to do any of my work skills. He's killing me off forever, and I want to know why this man oppresses me and persecutes me in the public eye. He persecutes my face, he persecutes me in my homes, he persecutes me as a doula in the public eye. Then he's changing my real identity in INFJ, a loving, kind humanitarian that wants to be there for other people, sit with other people in nursing. I've given so much time at Nurse Maud to sit with little old ladies. Why am I not allowed to do anything great in this life? They've even stopped me being a leader, because I always do new hobbies to find better ways to be happy, and India actually took that all off me. They took away all my homemade remedies. Then they're taking away my cooking job that I created. I made this, I don't know what to do. They're keeping me with no future. Help me. Help me ask Amnesty about this association.